FC-31 or the J-31 is the second fifth-generation fighter jet that is going to be introduced into the Chinese Air Force. The J-31 has two internal weapons bays that can each carry two medium-range missiles, along with two heavy hardpoints and one light hardpoint on each wing, but while it seems to have added an additional light hardpoint to each wing over the capacity of the F-35, it seems to lack the capacity of the F-35 to mount a centerline gunnery or jamming pod. China is working on an improved variant of WS-13E engine with 100 kilonewtons, 22,000 lbf, of thrust for use on the J-31. The J-31 is speculated to use stealth coatings instead of baked-in fiber matte stealth. Officials from UVIC claim the aircraft to be stealthy against L-band and Q-band radars, and would be low observable against a number of multi-spectrum sensors. The engine nozzles are apparently being redesigned to reduce radar and infrared signatures. The F-35 has a configuration similar to that of Lockheed Martin's own F-22 design, however it is slightly smaller and has one engine instead of two. It exploits stealth technology, which reduces its radar cross-section and makes it harder to detect. This multi-role fighter can perform on-air defense missions, close air support and tactical bombing. It is compatible with the latest air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles. This aircraft is proposed in three main variants, including the F-35A conventional takeoff and landing aircraft, F-35B short takeoff and vertical landing aircraft, and F-35C carrier-based aircraft. This aircraft uses the most powerful fighter engine ever developed. An Israeli version of the F-35, the F-35I, was used against targets in Syria. These stealthy fighters attack targets that were close to Russia's military bases in Syria. Furthermore, Russia's most capable air defense systems, including the S-300 and S-400, could not destroy any of the Israeli F-35s. The Chengdu J-20 is the new China's stealth fighter. It was designed to compete against fifth-generation fighters, such as the US F-22 Raptor, and advanced fourth-generation fighters, such as the Russian Su-57. This stealthy fighter was officially adopted by China's Air Force in 2017. The new J-20 is a medium and long-range air superiority fighter, which might also have a secondary ground attack capability. The new Chinese warplane is an advanced fourth-generation fighter, rather than a true fifth-generation fighter. This Chinese fighter has two large internal weapon bays for long-range air-to-air missiles and two small side-mounted weapon bays for short-range air-to-air missiles. Missiles are stored in these weapon bays in order to reduce the radar cross-section. It also has large fuel tanks for long-range missions. It carries more fuel and weapons than the American F-22 Raptor. Furthermore, this aircraft is capable of high-speed operations. The F-22 Raptor air superiority fighter is almost invisible to radars. This aircraft carries a powerful array of weaponry. It is the most advanced and most expensive production fighter aircraft to date. Many of sensors and avionics of this plane remain classified. This advanced aircraft was adopted in 2003. It was never offered for export customers, even other allies and NATO countries. Currently it is the best fighter aircraft ever built. Engines of the Raptor allow the aircraft to supercruise over long ranges, while thrust vectoring nozzles, combined with a triplex fly-by-wire flight control system, make it exceptionally maneuverable. Requirement for a new fighter was issued in the early 1980s, which would replace the F-15 Eagle. United States designed this aircraft in order to restore a technological edge which the US had enjoyed for many years over Russians and other Western countries. The F-22 started life as a straightforward air superiority fighter. However, since its introduction, this aircraft lacks a formidable air threat from other countries' fighters. Later it evolved towards the multirole fighter, as ground attack capability was added. The Su-57 is a new Russian fighter aircraft. It can be seen as a Russian answer to the US F-22 Raptor. Development of this aircraft commenced in 2001. It was planned that in 2020, a first batch of 12 pre-production fighters will be delivered to the Russian Air Force. Originally it was thought that the Su-57 is a stealthy air superiority fighter. However, it turned out that this aircraft has a secondary ground attack capability and can engage surface targets. Despite being referred as a fifth-generation fighter, there are some serious doubts about it, as some U.S. military officials referred the Sukhoi Pak-Fa only as advanced fourth-generation fighter. Russia still lags behind in the development, acquisition and employment of some of the latest technologies.